a mind that just refuses to shut off when it's time for bed. We're going to put together a simple but really effective wind-down routine to help you get your rest back. Does this sound familiar to you? You've had a crazy long day, you are physically exhausted, but the second your head hits that pillow, boom, your brain kicks into high gear. It's suddenly time to replay every conversation from the day, stress about tomorrow's to-do list, all of it. Trust me, you are definitely not alone in this. So the goal here is super simple. We're going to walk through a step-by-step plan to quiet all that internal noise and basically teach your brain that, hey, it's finally time to rest. So let's just dive right in. Okay, so our routine starts with section 1, setting the stage. This part is all about creating the right environment, one that sends these really clear signals to your brain and your body that the day is officially wrapping up. It all starts with 3 really critical actions: changing the light around you, offloading all those swirling thoughts, and, you guessed it, protecting yourself from your phone. Let's break down what each of these actually means. First up, dim the lights, and I mean it. Switch off those bright, harsh overheads and turn on some warmer, softer lamps. This isn't just about making the room feel cozy. There's real science here. Bright light, especially the bluish light from our screens, literally tells our brain it's daytime and stops the production of melatonin, the hormone that makes us sleepy. Warm, dim light does the exact opposite. It's a powerful signal to your internal clock that it's time to start winding down. Next, something called the brain dump. And honestly, this is a total game changer. Just grab a notebook and for about 5 or 10 minutes, just write every single to-do, every little worry, every random idea. Just get it out of your head. The simple act of putting these thoughts on paper kind of externalizes them, and it gives your brain permission to stop spinning them on a loop. And that brings us to a huge one in our modern world. Put your phone away. Or, if that's too much, at the very least, put it on Do Not Disturb. That late night scroll through social media or checking just one more email, it's like pouring fuel on an already racing mind. You have to be proactive and protect your mental space from all that last-minute stimulation. So now that we've set the stage, we can move into section 2, calming the mind and body. This is where we shift from just changing our environment to doing some active, gentle things that directly soothe us. The main idea here is really simple. You want to do something that's both repetitive and calm. The goal isn't really to distract yourself. It's more about soothing your mind with emotion that's predictable and gentle.
And look, this doesn't need to be some big, complicated ritual. We're talking about super simple stuff. Maybe it's just mindfully going through your skincare routine, or folding a small pile of laundry, or doing a few gentle stretches. The key is the quiet rhythm and the sheer simplicity of the task.
The reason these repetitive actions work so well is because they give your overactive mind a really simple, low-stakes thing to focus on. So instead of jumping between a million different worries, your brain can just lock on to this one single calming task, and that naturally slows your thoughts down. Okay, so after you've given your mind something to focus on, it's time to turn our attention to the body. That mind-body connection is unbelievably powerful, especially when you're trying to relax. Here are 3 really simple ways to do this. You could try some deep breathing, like breathing in for a count of 4, holding for 4, and then exhaling slowly for 6. A warm shower is also amazing for physically releasing muscle tension. And of course, sipping on a non-caffeinated herbal tea, something like chamomile, is just a classic way to soothe your nervous system. And this really gets to a core idea. It's often way easier to calm your body down first. When you consciously slow your breathing and relax your muscles, you're sending this incredibly powerful message to your brain that says, it's safe now, you can let go. The mind almost always follows the body's lead on this one. Let's move on to our 3rd section, creating a sleep sanctuary. We've prepped our mind, we've prepped our body, and now it's time to fine-tune the actual space where you sleep and give our brains one last gentle push. The perfect sleep environment really just boils down to a few key things. You want to keep the room cool. A slight drop in body temperature actually helps kickstart sleep. You want to make it as dark as possible. Blackout curtains can be a lifesaver. And you want to keep it quiet, or maybe use a white noise machine if that helps you tune everything else out. It's so easy to overlook these little details, but your physical environment is sending constant signals to your brain. A room that's cool, dark, and quiet communicates safety and rest, which makes it so much easier to drift off. Now, even after all this prep work, a busy mind can still try to spin back up again. And that's why you need to give it an intentional, gentle off switch. This just means actively replacing that tendency to overthink with one singular, calming focus. So what could that off switch be? It could be reading a few pages of a book. Just, maybe not a super intense thriller. It could be listening to a guided sleep meditation, which is designed to walk your thoughts towards relaxation. Or it could be as simple as writing down 3 things you are grateful for that day, which really helps shift your brain out of worry mode. We've covered a lot of really good practical steps, but there is one final piece to this whole routine. It's the one thing that makes all the other parts actually stick and work together. This really is the secret to success. All the steps we just talked about, the dim lights, the brain dump, the calming activities, they're fantastic, but they just won't be as effective without this one last ingredient. And here it is. The most important step of all is consistency. Doing this routine every single night, or as close to it as you possibly can, is what transforms it from just being a nice idea into a truly powerful habit. Think about it like you're training a muscle. The first few times you do it, it might feel a little weird or awkward, but over time, your brain and body, they learn the pattern. The dim lights, the notebook, the cup of tea, they become these really powerful cues that sleep is on its way. And it's that predictability that ultimately quiets the busy mind for good. So the only question left is this. Are you ready to stop battling your mind at night and start working with it? By building a consistent, calming routine, you can actually reclaim your evenings and finally get the rest you deserve.